My first report is from the Daily News on September 21st, and it's about how the Sudan president, Omar al-Bashir, wanted to visit the United Nations. It was around the time of the annual international diplomatic meeting, and the reason why there was so much interest in him is that he is currently wanted as a war criminal. In 2010, the UN indicted him for the mass killings of over 200,000 people. The UN has accepted hated dictators in the past, such as Ahmadinejad and Muammar Gaddafi, but this would be the first time a head of state would visit the United States while he still had international arrest warrants for him. The State Department at the time had yet to make the final decision, but if they grant him a visa, it was expected hordes of protesters would show up to criticize the State Department for what they see as a terrible choice. This article is from the Washington Post on September 30th. It's putting country over politics. While DC seemed to be perfectly content with delaying the government for political gain, there's at least one person out in the world who did the opposite, and that's former Prime Minister of Japan, Yoshihiko Noda, who only served for 482 days as the Prime Minister of Japan. And he had a message in response to Washington's recent actions. He said that you have to sometimes go against your political views to make sure the well-being of your country comes first. Noda knows this firsthand because when he was Prime Minister of Japan, he took decisions that hurt his popularity, but in retrospect were essential to the nation. An example of this was his increase in consumption tax to secure people of my age, being young and all, that live in Japan, for them to be able to have social security pensions when they get older. Are video games the new light novels? This is a question posed by the American Conservative on October 11, 2013. It's an interesting question. Are they really the modern light novels? About 70% of all adults consider themselves gamers, and that can include small phone games like Candy Crush to complex fighting games like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Like a novel, most video games have character development, plot, and engaging storyline. This article also points out that the only attack that critics could mount against video games is that they are violent and cause mass shootings, a claim that has been repeatedly put down as ignorant. To be honest though, most people can agree that while video games have taken the role of light novels and video games are making the newspapers instead of novels, they do not take the concentration or the brain power that light novels contain. Not that the average adult would want to spend their time reading Salinger, Poe, or Sandra Cisneros. This last article is from Crunchyroll, and it's titled "Anime is Not Getting Worse, We Only Lack Perspective," from September 22nd, 2013. Now this is a topic I hold dear to myself, and that is anime. Anime is getting worse is a commonly heard complaint, and anime fans would always look to the past. Critics would say that fan service is overly used. Definition of fan service for people who are not accustomed to anime would be scenes designed to excite the viewer in a perverted way, and those fans miss the old mature classics of the past. These views are not only ignorant, but they lack perspective. One thing to notice is that older anime fans always praise the same bunch of shows. This is because those are the shows that were good enough to be remembered. In a few years, people will look to the quality of shows of now, such as Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan, or the picture that's being shown now, Kill La Kill. Now, one thing to notice is also that the variety of anime and the amount of shows that are on television that are anime is increasing. And fan service is a key ingredient in many animes. Now, what that causes is a more likely odds of seeing fan service in an anime. What it comes down to overall, though, is what is remembered today is what made an impact on people. Anime that stood out. And 10 years from now, people will claim that today was the golden age, or today was when anime was good. or something like that, as in many other things that involve the human brain and philosophy in terms of what is good now and what is good in the past, such as music from the 80s compared to now.